Hey, good evening, everybody. Super happy to be here, Sophie, with my regular Monday evening Facebook Live. I do a live stream and actually YouTube as well, because I think we're streaming also on YouTube. So if you are a member of my YouTube community, you are very, very welcome too. And all my lovely Facebook peeps too. So I'm just going to see, because this is a slightly different platform that I'm using. So I want to make sure that I am able to, it's sometimes a little bit difficult to see all of your comments, which is why I asked for your questions as much as possible before the live stream tonight. So I am going to answer some of those questions that some of you who have popped into the comment box previously. So super, super happy that you are here. Happy Monday evening. The topic tonight that I want to cover is, I want to cover sleep and gut health, because both of these issues relate to immunity. Okay, so there's so much talk now, obviously, about immunity, about keeping ourselves well. And you see, everything is interrelated, isn't it? Also, weight loss, because lack of sleep, if you're absolutely exhausted, if you're going through menopause, if you've got hot sweats like crazy, if your hormones are completely out of whack, and your gut health is also out of whack, then it's going to be very, very difficult to maintain a healthy weight. And so really, if you don't know me, hello, but my, I'm just going to see if it's come up actually on my page so I can hopefully see questions when they come. If not, my lovely Catherine might be able to send me some questions. Oh, wait a minute, I'm seeing them. How do you grant StreamYard permission to do comments? I am not sure, Maureen, to be perfectly honest with you, because I'm not the user. I should probably know, but hopefully you can put some comments in. And don't worry, because I'm getting some of your comments here. So that is absolutely fantastic. I'll just turn that sound down right there. Lily's on, Leah's on, Anne's on, Jill's on. Yay, yay, yay. Denise, yes, we're live on YouTube too. Therese. Okay, so all good. So you can also press the share button if you're on Facebook, and you can invite your friends and your family to come and watch too. So this topic tonight is, I really want to try and hone down this topic to be on gut health and on getting enough sleep, and talk generally about it. Obviously, there's only so much that I can cover. There's only so much scope that I can cover when I'm not actually talking to you. And sometimes I love lives and I love my community, and thank you, my beautiful community, always for being here on a Monday and being so amazing and supportive. It's just, honestly, my Facebook group, Healthy Living and Weight Loss for Women 40 and Over, is such an amazing Facebook group. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on my main Facebook page, join that group, because it is full of women who are so amazing and supportive and loyal to each other, which is amazing. You've got to know each other really, really well over the years. Debbie's on, Tammy's on, hello, hello, Barbara is on, Karen's on. I can see your comments on my phone. So do come and join that community, because it's a really safe place. Obviously, no trolls there, no craziness going on there. So love that community. And also, why I wanted to broadcast, which is why I'm using this software, because it can broadcast on multiple systems at the same time, is because on YouTube, I have some people who are my lovely YouTube subscribers, often from overseas. So if you're not on YouTube, you can become a subscriber, excuse me, on YouTube. My YouTube channel is Gorgeously Green. Sue is watching. So if you're new to my live streams and you want to make yourself known, please say hello. Tell us who you are, where you're from, and we like to get to know you, and we like to get to know what you're going through and all of that good stuff. So as I was saying, there's only so much that I can cover and get into the details on when I'm talking on a live. So if you feel that you are stuck on your weight loss and your health journey, but your health and weight loss journey, you're just stuck, you really need a helping hand, you don't really know where to start or how to go on or what your next steps are, I invite you to watch I have a free masterclass, and it's a masterclass which is sort of primarily about weight loss. However, and I think Catherine is going to pop the link in to the masterclass. Hopefully she is. I can't see. Yes, Catherine will pop that in. Kathy, hello, hello. I'm seeing all different ones of you on different platforms here. Kathy, got two Kathys. We've got Pam on. We got Cindy on. So Meredith is on. Yay! Meredith is a Carolyn. Meredith is a client of mine, a graduate client of mine. But anyway. So if you kind of want more information, you want to go a little bit more in depth, and weight struggle or weight loss struggle is your thing, and then how it relates to all the other areas of your life, because if you know me, I work holistically. I am a holistic nutrition. All the different pieces come together, holistic nutritionist and coach, health coach. So we can't just separate out. Case in point on our topic today, we can't just go, oh, I'm doing all these things and yet I'm getting 2 hours sleep a night. Well, then you're going to have problems. Or I'm trying to do all these different things, eat right, exercise right, do this right, do that right, but my gut health is terrible. Do you see what I mean? Or, my hormones or whatever else. So, really, when you work with me on an in-depth level, as I do with my coaching clients, then we cover all of these areas, because you can't really just extrapolate one area. Hi, Susan. Hi, Wendy. And that's why diets don't work. And that's why I don't believe in just a weight loss diet per se. Hey, Cheryl's on. Stephanie's on. Stephanie. Oh, Stephanie, I've got something to show you. Stephanie. Don't go. Nobody go. I've got to just grab this for Stephanie. I wanted to show you this, Stephanie, this beautiful, beautiful candle that you gave me, Stephanie. Stephanie came to one of my retreats, and it's so, so beautiful. It's a spirit candle. I was burning it the other day, and the essential oils in it are so beautiful. So I just wanted to say thank you to a very, very special friend of mine, Stephanie, who she came to one of my in-person retreats, the last one that I was able to get in. Hi, Phyllis, before COVID. So that was very exciting. So how are you, everybody? Let me know in the comments what's going on with your sleep, what's going on with your gut health. Why don't you pop in there right now? I'm just checking here that I can still see the comments. Okay, yeah, so back to what I was saying. If you are new to me, if you are new to my work, if you are stuck on your health and weight loss journey, if you're like, I hear you, but that I've got issues, I just don't know what to do, where to go, how to start, I need a helping hand, then watch that masterclass. And Catherine is popping the link in. And look at that, and then if you like the sound of it, if it seems like it jives with you, my whole philosophy, then it might be something that you want to might look into it a little further, and maybe even consider taking a breakthrough call with me. There you go, Stephanie. Oh my God. Okay, Amber's in Ventura County. Oh God, listen, you're welcome, Amber. I don't mind if you are. Listen, if you're younger than 40, most of my community are 40 and above. But I'm telling you, if you've just happenstanced upon this live and you're in your 30s, okay, you are in the best place, because you have got a chance to nip some of these issues in the bud that so many women wish, right, ladies, that we'd like, oh gosh, I wish I'd known this information 20 years ago. I wish that I'd started doing this. So it's never too early to get started on a really healthy way of life that is going to, all these lifestyle changes. As I've said, it's not just immunity. It's not just weight loss. It's everything. It's really, truly is. Hi, DC. It's so that you can live your best life going forward. Hi, Elsa. Okay, so let's get into the topic at hand. I'm going to answer some of your questions that I've been getting. So the first thing is, a number of you who have said that you do have trouble sleeping. And one of the reasons why I decided to make this part of the topic tonight was because it is such a pervasive issue. And honestly, hi, Carolyn, it doesn't matter. Hi, Sandra. It doesn't matter if women younger and younger, you don't even have to be in menopause to have, sleeplessness, stress, right? Stress. Raise your hand if you're stressed right now with what is going on in the world. I mean, seriously, right? So, if we're stressed all day long and then suddenly you're exhausted and you put your head on the pillow and you try to go to sleep and you might just be out because you're so exhausted, but then you wake up. So there are two things that tend to happen with sleep, or lack of sleep, excuse me, is one, you're out like a light because you are exhausted, and then boom, you wake up at like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, and you can't go back to sleep. Let me know if that's you. Or you can't go to sleep. So you lie there and your mind is just whirring and whirring and whirring. Well, here is the number one tip about that. So there's lots of little tweaks and things, but here's the thing that I invite you to think about. Is that if your mind all day long, and it's your mind, but it's your body, because whatever we think in our mind, we have up to 80,000 thoughts a day, okay? And every single one of those thoughts affects your body. It affects your body chemistry, of course it does. You have an angry thought, it affects your body chemistry. You have a stressful thought, it affects your body chemistry. You have a happy thought, it affects your body chemistry, okay? So, all day long, you've been having all these thoughts and they've been whirring and whirring and whirring around your mind. And then suddenly you get into bed and you turn off the light and you're like, why can't I go to sleep? Because it's really hard, right, to stop that whirring, that hamster wheel. Particularly, you might have just come off watching the news or hearing all the bad news and everything else. So the obvious, which I'm sure most of you know, and certainly if you're in my community, is turn off the TV definitely an hour before you go to bed, because the stimulation is too much. It's just way too much. Turn off your phone, turn off your TV, and give your mind a rest from this outer stimuli, which is really over the top now. So that is the number one thing. I understand that it's hard for some people to do, because sometimes it's the only time at night after a hard day's work when you're like, it feels like you're chilling out and relaxing just to watch something on TV, but it's not going to rest your brain. It just isn't. So my number one tip is to consider mindfulness, not just before you go to bed, but throughout the day. How mindfully are you living? Are you practicing meditation? Do you have a meditation practice? If you don't, it might be time to start one. It doesn't have to be a big, crazy, I've got to go sit down for an hour in lotus position every single day. You can pick up an app, a free app, such as Insight Timer, and do a couple of meditations from that. And honestly, and this is Debbie, as much as I try to control stress, it happens. I go to sleep at 10:30 and wake up at 2:30 and can't go back. Yeah, absolutely. But trust, Debbie, that even if I hear you saying that you try to control your stress. But what I would invite you to do is to really look at how you're doing that during the day. What are some of the tools that you're using? What are some of the tools that all of you are using to manage your stress throughout the day? Because you see, what you do in the day is going to affect how your mind is when you switch off that light at 10, 10:30, 11, or whatever time you go to bed. It is up. Just think about it. When you go, when you're really relaxed, when you go on vacation and everything's able to, release, it's likely that you're probably able to sleep a little bit better, right? And you're like, oh my gosh, I got a full night of sleep, right? So we can't avoid the stress of our life. A lot of us have a lot going on. We have families, we have work, we have kids, we've got COVID, we've got pandemics, we've got can't travel, we've got the whole 9 yards going on right now. We have no control zero control over what happens on the outside. But what we do have control of is what happens on the inside and how we manage our stress. And I would invite you, those of you who have a lot of trouble sleeping, to, hi Denise, is to make your stress management a number one priority. And that might mean a number of different things. Looking at how much maybe you're packing into your day, being able to say no, creating boundaries. I work on that a lot with my clients in my coaching program. It might be learning a little meditation technique, not a big deal, not a great kind of like, as I said, I've got to sit down for 20 minutes, but 3 minutes. It might be a breathing technique. The thing with our breath is that when we're stressed, our breathing is this shallow. Or sometimes like this shallow. If you think about it now, if you just take a moment to check in with your body now, check in with your breath right now, and notice how shallow your breath is. And if you were really, really stressed, your breath is so shallow that the throat constricts. And that's why often when people are super, super stressed, their voice gets higher because they're like, I'm so stressed, because you're literally constricted. And then when you release, and when you're in meditation, the whole tone of your voice will drop and it'll get deeper and lower. But that's breathing, okay? So breathing is a very good thing. So just write these little things down and you can go look up. There's so many resources online now, aren't there? Breathing techniques, yoga breathing techniques. There's many, many YouTube videos. There's many 1 to 2 minute meditations that you can find on YouTube. You can grab the Insight Timer, grab that. So think about walking meditations. That's incredibly soothing. Maybe before the weather really changes and the clocks, oh God, I can't even believe I'm saying this, before the clocks change again, maybe think about how, you can still after dinner, just go for a beautiful walk. The healthiest time to do that is after dinner. And then you can just, it's obviously great for your blood sugar control to walk within 30 minutes of finishing dinner, within 30 minutes. But it can also be a beautiful walking meditation where you can enjoy the evening and just let everything unwind and just slow down. And what I mean by making your stress relief a number one priority, you've got to decide, haven't you, of how important it is for you. Because what that might mean is some things might have to just fall by the wayside or fall a little bit lower down the list. If you can't get to folding all the laundry that night, if you can't get to, checking everything off on your to-do list, if you can't get to, being there and doing everything for every member of your family and answering every email, well, you know what? Guess what? My stress management comes first, because without that, then I'm not going to be able to sleep well. And honestly, the other thing is that with everything that I teach in wellness, whether you get the healthiest diet, the healthiest exercise regime, the healthiest whatever it is that you're doing, okay, if you are constantly stressed, if those stress chemicals are constantly flooding your body, then you cannot be well. It's as simple as that. It's just a matter of time before something is going to break, because there's only so much stress that our beautiful, miraculous bodies can take. So if there's one thing that you take away from the live stream tonight, let it be this, okay? That's so funny, Leah. And maybe folding laundry, by the way, Leah, is very soothing for you. You can turn that into a meditation. You can turn everything off or play some beautiful classical music or whatever in your earbuds and turn it into a soothing meditation. And what that means, turning everyday tasks into a meditation, is that instead of multitasking and doing lots of different things, I've got my phone, I'm answering texts in between folding, and I'm doing this, and I'm talking to somebody, then, and Leah, what I would say to you is if you're folding laundry, then just fold laundry and be mindful about it and get into your breathing and your body awareness and turn it into something that's just a beautiful thing. You see, for you, it might be more stressful to leave the laundry. And for some people, it's better to do it. Oh, my husband's, no, they've eaten. Yeah, they have. My husband's asking me if our dogs have eaten, and I'm trying to tell him they have. Because you see, Sunshine, if any of you know me, oh, wait a minute, no, I've got to tell him they've eaten. Oh my gosh, he's going to feed them again. He's literally, my husband is going to feed Sunshine, who is my dog, who is very large, my Pomeranian. Sorry, hold, time out. Do not go anywhere. I've got to tell the man. Oh my gosh. They've already eaten. Oh my gosh, I'm back. Gosh, that is so funny. He was literally, Sunshine pretends, I've got two little dogs. One of them's a Pomeranian, one of them's a Chihuahua. By the way, this is what happens on my live streams. As you can see, they're completely unpolished. Yeah, so she was giving him all the eye and the big eyes and the, oh, I'm hungry and everything. So he was going to feed them 2 meals. Sunshine was going to have. Anyway, all right. Sue, hi, Sue, my darling. Sue, I saw you asked a question earlier, so please ask it right here because I can see your comments in real time right now. Oh, that's a good one. Marie said, try boiling banana peels, add milk. That might be a plant-based milk in my community. Honey and turmeric. Oh, that sounds good. Thank you, Jill. Thank you so much. It was my wedding anniversary on this past weekend, 21 years. Thank you, Jill. And I just had a really beautiful time. Yes, Angie, that is very, very true. Walking 30, it has to be within 30 minutes of finishing a meal, but that's going to keep, if you're diabetic or anybody has, high blood sugar and you struggle with that, really, really positive thing to eat within 30 minutes. To walk. And you don't have to do any crazy exercise, but walk within 30 minutes. Of doing that. Inflammation, how do I get rid of it? Sue, that's a big topic. So the topics that we're covering tonight are sleep and gut health. But gut health does relate to inflammation. And in short, in one sentence, Sue, as you know, my answer would be, take out the foods that are inflammatory. And the most highly inflammatory foods are going to be fats. So fats are a little more inflammatory, but animal fats, animal foods, animal products, meat in particular is highly inflammatory. So if you, ladies, if you suffer from inflammation, and again, inflammation as well. So inflammation and gut health and lack of sleep. Can you see how everything weaves in together? Everything, all the strands weave in. We are holistic. We are integrated. If you have inflammation in your body, it is very likely that your gut, you have a little bit of gut dysbiosis. If you have gut dysbiosis, then it might be likely that you might have a little bit more inflammation in your body. If you're getting a lack of sleep, then it's going to add stress into your body, and stress is going to exacerbate both of those conditions. So everything is integrated. That is the future of medicine, isn't it? Integrative medicine, lifestyle medicine. We can't just separate off one thing and then go, oh, there's that pain over there, or that ache there, or that problem there in that area of my life, and I'm going to fix that and then it'll fix. It probably won't, because it's a band-aid. And what you need to do is just sort of look at the whole picture and see how all the different pieces of the puzzle of you interrelate together. And actually, I've put all that together, into my masterclass, my new masterclass that I've just recorded, and Catherine has put the link in. And if she hasn't, Catherine, if you're watching, would you put the link in again, and you can watch that and really get more of an understanding of how all these things are interrelated. So only if you're diabetic. No, Angie, not at all. The eating within 30 minutes, the walking, within 30 minutes of eating. So if you put your last mouthful down after dinner, and then within the next 30 minutes, like you finish at 7 o'clock, so between 7 and 7:30 you go for a walk, then it's just going to really help to bring your blood sugar down, and it's good for everybody. Because if you think about it, last meal at night, you know, the last thing you want to do after that is just go sit, you know, in front of the TV, or even worse, do your sort of late night snacking, which unfortunately can also tie in, again, see how everything is interrelated. If you're exhausted and stressed and burned out and you get to the end of your day, right, raise your hand or let us know in the comments. Is that the danger time for you? Is that the time for you that sometimes you're going to be like, oh, I just could so like have a little snack, you know? That's when you sort of may crave the ice cream, or crave the cheese, or crave the carbs, or crave something to comfort you because you are so stressed out, right? And that is really, really incredibly normal. Marie, gut and inflammation, try rubbing castor oil. Oh yeah, it's interesting. Castor oil is interesting. There's not an enormous amount of, in fact, I don't think there's any, and please, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I'd be very interested to know, Marie, if there's any evidence-based science on castor oil. I'm not sure that there is, but a lot of people find it very, very soothing, doing castor oil packs for, you know, menstrual cramps and such. Hi, Christy's watching. Yeah, so I think there's a lot of fat, a lot of oil, and sodium in those baked meats, so to be very, very, very careful. Kelly, hey, Kelly's watching. Okay, so any other questions? And I'm looking on two different things here, the questions. And I'm just going to put my glasses on so I can see what's happening here. Oh, that's beautiful. Maureen said household blessings are very therapeutic for me. Yes, absolutely. Ada, hi in Atlanta. Yeah, Deborah, I get you. I hear you. The effects of stress. It's not, I was going to say it's not a fun time. It's an interesting time, isn't it? With all the stress that is going on in and around us, our families, our friends, our loved ones. It takes more now. I think we are, you know, I believe that our true self shows up in times of stress, doesn't it? And so what we all have to ask ourselves is, how do I want to show up, you know, in the midst of all this stress? You know, who do I want to be, and how do I want to show up for myself and my loved ones and my family? And nobody wants to be rushing around, because when we're in the midst of stress, we're not our best selves, are we? We're really not. So that's why I recommend that you find a way of making it your number one priority. Really look at that. Take a really good look at your life. Take a good look at yourself. And if you're like, no, I've got it pretty under control and I'm pretty chill and I've done the best that I can, that's fantastic. And if you're tearing your hair out and you're like, no, I am not, then it might be time to start, you know, looking for some techniques that can help you. And luckily, the information age that we live in now, thanks to YouTube, there are so many resources for you all out there. And again, if you feel that you really need more of a helping hand, that you need somebody really, really helping you on a daily basis and taking your hand, then again, watch my masterclass. And, you know, at the end of it, there's a, you know, you might even consider booking a breakthrough call with me. Hi, Connie's watching. Okay, Linda, hello. And when I stopped eating processed foods along with eating vegan, inflammation went away. And Anne is a really great member of this community. And she absolutely, we've got 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 20, a lot of ladies here, if you're new to my community, who have really been following this very healthy way of eating for quite a few years now. Many have lost a tremendous amount of weight. Many are, you know, inflammation has gone, aching and achy joints and fibromyalgia and aches and pains and all of that. awfulness, which is all part and parcel with being inflamed and eating a less than healthy diet, which, by the way, isn't your fault if you do. It's the day and age that we live in, where 90% of what we find in the grocery store is really highly processed foods, all the marketing, and it's we're really up against it. It's difficult. It's not your fault, but you're here, you're in my community, and so in my community, that's what you learn, like one meal at a time, one day at a time, to eat a little healthier. Patricia is watching. Kathleen, hello. So we've talked a little bit about sleep now. Now, the other little things for sleep, and everybody feel free to pop your suggestions into the comments. There's other things that you can do, such as making sure that you're topped up in magnesium. You really want to take enough magnesium. You want to take, you can take valerian tea is a really good one. There's other different soothing tea, hops tea. There's lots of different tea blends that might have a little valerian, some lemon balm, some hops in there as well. I think there's one called Sleepy Time. There's all sorts of different ones. There's actually one on my blog. If you go to my blog, sophieuliano.com, and put in the search Sleepy Time tea, there is a Sleepy Time tea there. I made it for Regis, God rest his soul. When I was on the Home and Family show, the Hallmark channel, I made him a special tea because the producers told me that he was having a lot of trouble sleeping. So I put this blend together for him. So you can look that up as well. So there's some little bits and pieces to be getting on with as far as sleep. But I think the biggest story with sleep is if you're not managing your stress during the day, then it's really you're going to pay the price at night. Now, menopause is a whole other thing. Ladies have said in the chat that you've got your hot flashes, you're uncomfortable, you're worrying. That's a whole nother subject. But obviously, if your hormones are out of whack, that can really affect your sleep patterns. And I would definitely highly recommend that you get your hormones tested and that you work with somebody who can really help you get to the bottom of that. That's really important. You don't, in as much to say, or suffice to say, that you don't have to suffer. Okay. Now, gut health. All right. That was the other thing that I wanted to touch. Apropos of immunity, we're heading into September. And then it's going to be upon us, flu season, cold season. We've also got COVID still going on. And so, how can we stay as healthy as possible? Well, our first line of defense really, truly is our gut. That is where your immunity is really, begins and ends, doesn't it, in your gut. So gut health is really, really important. So, yeah, gut, yeah. Sleepy Time tea, excellent. Thank you. Yeah. Yes, Christy, you absolutely can. So Christy asked, and it's such a good question. Christy said, can you reverse damage to your gut from growing up on a lot of antibiotics? And the answer is absolutely. You can reverse damage. Sometimes we refer to, it as digestion, and sometimes digestive health. And sometimes we call it gut health, but the two can be used interchangeably. And the things that really cause your gut to be out of whack and is called gut dysbiosis is, one, a poor diet. So maybe for lots of you, unintentionally bad eating habits for years, the standard American diet, the SAD diet, that will. Pesticides can really be deleterious to good gut health, particularly glyphosate, which is one particular pesticide. So that's another thing. Illness is another. Stress is another huge factor. And obviously, antibiotic use is one that will wipe out, the good bacteria. But and then there's all sorts of other things that stem from that, such as conditions that you might get, such as leaky gut, and the list goes on, and more serious autoimmune issues. Yeah, decades of poor diet, exactly. Too many antibiotics, yes. Yeah. And Patricia, you know what? That's okay. Don't feel, don't feel ashamed about that. If that's the way you can get to sleep, if the alternative is you walking around like a, zombie every day, well then, and if it's not harming your health, stress can make you very sick. Okay, working in the front line is, but I know I'm safe. I have a job to do. Well done for you, Kelly. Well done. Yeah, which I love. I'm taking great care of myself. Just breathe. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, Kelly. So the bottom line is that it's reversible. Okay, so if you have gut dysbiosis, it is absolutely reversible, but it's not going to happen overnight. It is a slow process and there is no magic bullet. So no matter what anybody says to you on the internet or on Instagram, or here's a magic pill, here's a magic supplement, just take this, it is not true, because there are so many different factors. I wish there were a magic supplement. I wish there were a magic probiotic that I could just say, take that and it'll just solve all your problems. But it really, truly isn't. We have to build good gut health, like building a house from the foundation up. And that means eating the right foods. And in fact, I've got his book here right now. I interviewed him. Many of you saw the interview that I did with him a while ago, Fiber Fueled by Dr. B. And it's a really good book, The Plant-Based Gut Health Program for Losing Weight, Restoring Your Health, and Optimizing Your Microbiome. And I adhere to almost everything he says in the book. Some really, really, really good advice in there. But if you want just a very quick version, a very quick, easy summary of that, having read the book 2 or 3 times, as I do with any book that I really value, is that a whole food plant-based diet is the way that you're going to heal your gut. And a whole food plant-based diet, or one of the ways, not the way actually, because as I said before, you could have a very clean whole food plant-based diet and still be really stressed out, and then you're not going to be digesting properly. But one of the primary ways that you can do it, certainly as far as nutrition is concerned, is to eat a whole food plant-based diet and start introducing fiber, more fiber, very, very slowly into your diet. Your gut has to be babied at first. It's not going to be able to do all of this at once. It's like trying to suddenly throw tons and tons and tons of fiber into your gut, into your diet, all at once. Very often is too much for your gut. So you need to go slowly at the beginning, and you need to train, because what we're aiming to do is to get more and more colonies of good bacteria. The more varied these colonies of good bacteria that reside and live in your gut, the better. The more, the better. The more varied the good bacteria, the better. And that means that you need to eat a very varied plant diet. So you can't just eat the same thing every day. Oh, well, I eat carrots and tomatoes every day and that'll do it. Carrots, tomatoes, and lettuce. No, you need to bring in as many different plants and grains and, beautiful complex carbohydrates and all these foods that just all add up to being what we call a prebiotic. Oh yeah, Christy, I get you. I so get you. Christy, I recommend that you watch my masterclass, because that's really going to help you. And I talk a lot about that. It's just, it requires a lot of mindset work to really, change our healthy ways and to stick to it. So do watch my masterclass, and you might even want to, consider, booking a little call with me. Yeah, Sue. Exactly. So you got to go real slow, because I think what happens is a lot of people get really fired up about it, Sue, right? And they're like, okay, I'm going to just put all this fiber in. And he talks about all the different kinds of fiber and the soluble and the insoluble and blah, blah, blah. But your gut is like, whoa, wait a minute. This is too much. So you've just got to almost think about it, Sue, that you're like, you're feeding a little bit of fiber in, and a certain kind of fiber, and then the good bacteria that respond to that kind of fiber are going to go, oh, this is great. Okay, I can digest this, right? And then if you throw in like a ton more, then they're going to be like, whoa, and we haven't got cousins or friends or community. We haven't got enough of us to be able to digest this. So we're freaking out a bit, and that's when you feel uncomfortable and get gas and bloating, whatever. You've got to go slow. All right, Jill, and I got to scoot too. So everybody, thank you for being here tonight on my regular live stream. Have a beautiful, beautiful week. I will not be here next week because I do my monthly coaching call with some of my clients, which falls on that particular day. So I will not be here. So for you regulars, I will catch you 2 weeks today. And if you have any, questions, comments, whatever, pop them in the comment stream below, whether you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook, and maybe just spend this week or the next 2 weeks, actually, because there's 2 weeks before I'll see you all again. But maybe spend the next 2 weeks, if nothing else, just become aware of your stress levels. Just go, gonna just put more of a spotlight on this. So instead of just getting up every day and doing the same, I've just got to survive, I've got to survive, I've got to survive, right? Which I understand, and I really particularly understand in this climate. But see what it's doing to you, see what it's doing to your health, and see what it's doing to those around you. You're not your best self, and you're not your healthiest self. So just see if there's little pockets, little ways that you can somehow alleviate that stress with some of the beautiful tools that are now available to us online. And as I say, we've got YouTube, so use it. There are millions of 1-minute meditations, 2-minute meditations, 5-minute meditations. There's yoga, umpteen yoga. Look up restorative yoga. You can do a little bit of restorative yoga before you go to bed instead of watching TV. All of these different tools just to soothe your body, and start soothing your body 1 hour before you turn in for the night. And Leah, whether that's you soothing by folding laundry, that's totally fine. You don't have to be in the lotus position or lying on a yoga mat. You find your thing. But whatever it is, make it soothing and be sacrosanct about that, because that's your runway to go to bed. Okay, and you will sleep better. And finally, if you're really crazy, suffering, night sweats, hot flashes, repeatedly waking up, then I urge you to go get your hormones tested, because as I said before, you don't have to suffer. All right, that's it from me. Have a beautiful week, and don't forget, those of you who haven't, you can watch my masterclass. I know Catherine's popped that in the link. It is time. It's worth healing all of it, Kelly. It's worth healing the gut. It's worth healing everything. It's worth taking the time, and it is a little bit of time, and for many of you, worth the time putting into the research as well. But it's worth, I'll tell you what it's worth, is putting yourself first. That's what it's worth. It's time to put yourself first, because you can't give from an empty cup. So put your own oxygen mask on first. All right, good night, everybody. Enjoy your next couple of weeks, and I'll see you 2 weeks today.